By far one of the most exciting upsets in boxing history. Finally, this guy holding up the cruiserweight division is out of there. Lawrence Okolie took the L against Chris Billam-Smith. But before we get into that, we are all takes no whiffs. I'm Christian. That's A Hendy. And yeah, this fight last weekend, as you can see from the scorecards, from the result, as everything that we expected, this didn't go as planned. And honestly, I think it's for the good because I've been critical about Lawrence Okolie, honestly, and his flaws I think were in full like they were showing in full form in this fight. He was getting bullied by Billam-Smith, and he was just trying his hardest to hold. Lost 2 points to holding, and I don't know. I don't want to say he got exposed. It's just
Oh, he got exposed.
yeah, like you could say he got exposed, but it's like it was almost like somebody like stated the obvious. You know what I mean? Like this guy is really like just limiting himself as a boxer, and somebody just had to push him to the limit. And Billam-Smith did it. Lawrence Okolie obviously couldn't handle it because he's just a stick and grab type of boxer, which is one of my least favorite type of boxers.
Yeah, and I mean the scorecards are just all over the place to be honest. A 116, a 107. I mean, I guess that's probably the most accurate one, but I mean, this dude lost what, 4 or 5 points this entire fight. He lost two from grabbing and two from getting knocked down, or three from getting knocked down. I mean, it's just kind of insane how there is a tie in this to make it a majority decision in the first place.
Yeah, I would have to agree. 116, 107 makes the most sense considering 5 points off of Okolie, two for the point deductions, and then three getting knocked down 3 times. That makes sense, I guess. I could see that. It might have been even wider, to be honest, though, if you take those point deductions away and it's a 116, 112. I don't even know if I agree with that. I do think Billam-Smith won decisively, but the draw is just that's just another ridiculous.
Outrageous.
We're just getting ridiculous things like back to back weeks in boxing right now during like highlighted fights. Not this isn't one of them, to be honest. Like this isn't Haney Loma and like all that other
Still a
big.
world title fight, so it does mean something, but that's the thing, it's like, why are the scores so bad in some of these recent fights?
And then it's like regardless of what level of a big fight it is, it's obvious that personal interest for like in the business side of boxing is taking like it has a heavy hand in this thing right now. Like obviously somebody wanted Lawrence Okolie to at least not lose his undefeated record. Like that's just ridiculous when he obviously lost a fight. Like he got knocked down 3 times. He got bullied. He got
2
it,
points for deducted for holding, like,
yeah. Like it's just I just don't really get how you could come up with a draw from that. And that's just corruption at its finest, to be honest. But that aside, I'm really glad for Chris Billam-Smith because he just won the world title. Stripped it from somebody who I felt like was not doing well for the cruiserweight division. And he had a lot of motivation going into this fight. In his post conference interview, he talked about how his mother's fighting breast cancer and that he did this for her and just how hard of a road this is. And I'm just really glad to see that Billam-Smith came out on top because someone's always working hard and trying to get where somebody else is. And sometimes people get too comfortable, and I feel like this is a case right here.
yeah, it honestly kinda does suck because I was kind of more looking forward to talking about Chris Billiam-Smith and his performance instead of the wild scorecards and the craziness from Okolie and everything, but, I mean, kudos to him and everything. He was fighting for bigger things and obviously wanted it more than Okolie because Okolie honestly didn't even look like he wanted to be out there at times, but,
He wanted,
now that no, go ahead.
he wanted to dance.
Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously, you wanna dance and hug. But, now that Chris Billiam-Smith is a world champ, who do you wanna see him fight next?
Honestly, I feel like cruiserweight, some of the more like major names have kind of cleared out of the way. Like obviously Usyk moved up to heavyweight. Maris Briedis, he went on to call out Jake Paul, and I don't know what the heck happened to him. Honestly, though, seeing Badou Jack just winning the WBC cruiserweight title, that'd be a pretty sick unification fight. I think it'd be entertaining. And someone who's not a world title holder but top contender in cruiserweight, I think Richard Riakporhe, that's another name that would be an interesting fight for Billam-Smith for sure. But I'm just glad to see Okolie's not holding up the division, and Billam-Smith. I think he's going to make for more entertaining fights, and just things are just going to be in more in motion in cruiserweight now that this is happening. I'm glad to see it.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad to see it too, because cruiserweight division's kind of been a little dull here the past couple of years. So hopefully now they can get brightened up with Billam-Smith kind of leading the way there.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's next for Chris Billam-Smith and the cruiserweight division as a whole. But before we head out of here, if in case you guys did not see, we reached 100 subscribers. So go ahead and check out and enter that giveaway because one lucky person is going to be winning $100. And another thing before we head out, shout out to Ron Sizzle 402 in the comment section, hitting on his prediction over 10 and a half rounds. Obviously, the fight went the distance, so that was a good call right there. Definitely does something to keep in mind when Lawrence Okolie is fighting. So good analysis for sure. And yeah, hopefully you keep hitting on your predictions and we keep shouting you out on here. But until then, peace.
Peace.